It is time to remove all subnormal cowards, corrupt and mentally enslaved fools from African affairs and replace them with patriots who are qualified and strong and have no fear. The problems are many and with a sense of urgency must be resolved. In this great emergency of the people who suffer and know we're all involved. Putin called it a hopeless graveyard. Trump called it a shithole. And it is indeed a terrible tragedy for all to behold. Africans live in mass ignorance and poverty. That's plain to understand. Apartheid, overprivileged remainders, and racial offenders still control Africa's wealth, resources, and best farmlands. This tragedy has just one solution: step up African Union. When the far-right KKK, police, and other racial persecutors routinely murder Afros, often after being summoned by a Karen, they're sending a message of fear and despair that they'd like the Afro world to see and hear, and to accept racial oppression and suppression while the whole world is staring. Afros are the vast majority in Brazil, but are kept in open prisons, slums, called favelas. Chinese racial offenders evict Africans into the streets, and immoral Arabs still enslave Africans. Sila. It's not just you and me, for this would not sit right with Tush, Marley, Dube, or Fela. It's time for the diaspora to work together to unite Africa with a very strong resolution to meet the needs of all Africans and bravely and nicely step up the African Union. Migrants are risking their lives to escape from Africa to foreign lands, to face criminalization, detention, and humiliation. Even so, these refugees understand they'll feel better off than Africans in Africa. So what is the dysfunctional AU's remedial plan? Where is the care, pride, love, and respect that these people of African descent are all due? With their streaming eyes, they're told many lies by those who should step up the AU. African leaders must ensure that the scramble for Africa is for Africans only, so that those who promote African affairs in the African way shall all feel comely. The new African leaders must be honest, patriotic, inspired, and qualified in critical race theory and the geopolitics of world affairs. They'll be steeped in racial awareness, race pride, and Afro Lives Matter. Yes, hear me say it loud and clear. The world domination, management, and control by the racial empire of the Euro-Imperial Alliance of Racial Offenders and Oppressors led by America will be neutralized with the help of the civilized AU's home base in Africa. The Euro-Imperial Racial Empire led by the USA must pay compensation and free up all its victimized African heads of state. I'm saying this today. With haste, it's time to take back control of Africa's land and resources, and there's no time to waste. Do ensure African resources are for African children and build thousands more universities and hospitals and greatly improve medical care and social care. Develop a population that's not just beautiful, but whose African education is second to none, being revitalized, fully developed, and civilized. The only way this can be done is to unite and step up the African Union. The political problems of the African diaspora cannot be solved by a favorite rapper, individual, or group. A political resolution can only come from a mature, dignified, and civilized African Union. Step it up, step it up, step it up, step up the African Union. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and the Afro world is full of perfect bodies and imperfect minds. So with haste, let's develop the beautiful African minds to the highest level for an ideal African home base. Africans do not need charity, only good mental health so as to think with clarity. There are lots of evils to be resolved that can only be done if the AU is involved. They include the Windrush type atrocities and declaring the KKK as a racist terrorist organization. The brave Black Lives Matter groups will no longer seem as lonely, abused, and defenseless orphans when there's backup from a stepped up and progressive home base at the African Union. There's still the outstanding issue of enslavement and colonial reparations, and the Pope must apologize for the false image of God as a Caucasian man. Africans are the only people who are servants and slaves to others in their own homeland, and so need respect, equality, human rights, and effective remedial plans. It is not right that Africans should be the poorest people on earth and crippled by charity dependence when the world's richest continent is the land of their birth. Yet their leaders are the richest on earth, the worst on earth, last the longest on earth, help to cause the greatest suffering on earth, and oh, how it hurts. The British Commonwealth and the French-controlled Africans must be swiftly replaced with a new international Afro-Commonwealth, headed by the President of the African Union. The African diaspora will then have good reasons to be very proud of being Africans and to discard their Euro-imposed false label of black. They will give it back and mutually back up and support their home base to be relied on when we step up the African Union. African affairs will then include foolproof plans to end poverty, for proper growth with integrity, a space program, development, and prosperity. Thanks to the troubleshooting experts of the much improved and new Super African Union, theirs will be world competitive African minds, highly educated, honest, brilliant, and of full worth. They'll match and smash in strength and wisdom the racial criminals and their covert experts. It's time for a globally recognized African Film Festival, music festival, awards, honors, and related ceremonies. The African Union's Medals of Honor must replace those of the Euro-imperial racial empire that is designed to racially manipulate, subjugate, ridicule, and dishonor. With love, not hate, let's make this the last generation of the very long reign of the subnormal, right honorable African heads of state. We now realize that they and their foreign managers, saboteurs, and controllers who want them to remain for life must be neutralized. Most are disrespected worldwide, but lo and behold, African leaders are indeed the worst in the world. Between the lines, we all know that the International Criminal Court mainly picks on and prosecutes African leaders. Enough people are able and ready to go, but those substandard leaders really don't want to know. But our depowered and long-suffering glorious people will surely know God loves them too when we step up the AU. No pain, no gain. This may not sound nice, but freedom comes at a price. The days when African leaders, like the three proverbial monkeys, would see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, fear all evil, and take no action when its diaspora is being terrorized, will no longer be acceptable as the new AU's reaction. For about 2 billion case of George Floyd has shown us how, and we'll be well blessed to do the rest. So let's remove all subnormal fools, cowards, collaborators, and mentally enslaved puppet traders to those like me and you, and ensure we work to step up the AU. Yes, step up the African Union. Step up the African Union. Step up the African Union. Step it up. Step up the African Union.